I awoke in the middle of the night and the screens were playing, but I couldn't see them, and the haze of light made me remember the light in your bedroom when I used to sleep over. The streetlight's reflection softly crawling into your room, peeking round the curtains in a warm glow, he wrote. I sit here and feel blindness in the face of the light, and I know I'm one of God's warriors. I remember we used to mock those sorts of people. We take the piss out of that lot that used to go to the Catholic school up the road. And now that I'm reminiscing, I'm remembering every weekend for that year where we'd get stoned in the forest or in the underpass, and then as it grew dark we'd get completely lost in the pitch black trees, walking around completely blind for hours. No idea where we were or what we were looking at, laughing into the outline of nothing and mud and branches and the orange haze of suburban streetlights. It's all about light and darkness, really, isn't it? Maybe the darkness leads to the light, or maybe the light leads to the darkness. My glasses have scratches on, and my eyes have floaters in, he wrote. And then the email ended with no sign-off. Scratches on the glasses, floaters in the eyes. This email disturbs me. No full stops, it is all commas, a consistent and, over and over again, and, like some boring Beckett piece. It makes me think of the medieval anchorites, the Christian practice of retreating from the world, secluding oneself to a room of darkness, all senses cut off and trying to pray forever. They'd hold a funeral ritual before entering, and then they'd retreat, pretending for the rest of their life that they were dead. Somehow the death made them a living saint. Death in life. The preoccupation of locking oneself away to find a pure inwardness, a complete essence of something. It pops up time and time again. It's odd, really. Like Proust, locking himself in a room to dedicate himself to writing fully, to write completely. He had 3 layers of curtains, walls enforced with corkboard, and there was meant to be no streetlight or noise to enter his room. Proust, too, swore himself to a strange technology. Language. Mary of Egypt was a promiscuous saint from 300 AD. A desert mother, or the desert mother. Mary, who was so taken with her own rabid libido, a pure sexuality running riot, that she would retreat from this behaviour, and she would wander the desert in her old age, approaching nothingness. But they approach nothing, whilst Tom seems to approach an alien overstimulation. All this is just information and jargon to avert me from feeling the pain of my friend's seeming madness. My skill of abstracting to distract me from my emotions. Madness scares me, and I'm scared that I could go the exact same way. I can't tell if Tom is in the desert, his room being a retreat from a cruel world, or is it just pathetic filth? Is he just hiding in shit? And where do I sit on this line? I'm scared about objects retreating. Maybe not scared, but aware that the details of the smears and stains have retreated out into repetition and vagueness, that I have lost contact with details. The spiritual overstimulation and the desert are similar to me. The moon was of the same colour as the infinite sand, Borges writes, And in a way, that is what the desert is. It's a reflection, a mirror. Emptiness is a mirror. My friend seems to be searching for images in his desert, but really he's just looking at himself. Most Romantic era Christian churches are built so that the outside light never enters the main chapel of prayer. The architecture promotes isolation and inwardness. The light from outside not distracting you from your so-called inner purity. I don't really believe that. It's fucking bullshit. I remember the lights in my room too, and the sleepovers, and our talks. I remember getting high in that forest and getting lost in the dark. The trees grew out of the dark like hands grabbing you. It's one of my favourite memories. But what is Tom's reality? His madness? Genet says, the page that was blank to begin with is now crossed from top to bottom with tiny black characters, letters, words, commas, exclamation marks. And it's because of them the page is said to be legible. But a kind of uneasiness, a feeling close to nausea, an irresolution that stays my hand, these make me wonder, do these black marks add up to reality? The white of the paper is an ochre surface of clay tablets, but the ochre and the translucency and the whiteness may all possess more reality than the signs that mar them. Genet asks that if reality is in the material of the paper, what are those black marks of supposed meaning? In Tom's case, what is the infrastructure and material of his reality? What actually are the websites, the moving images, and the grand narratives of his entertainment? What is his attempt to transcend the screen in obscure pornographic specificities and repetition? The same game dialogue chanted out to you as mantra. Because all I can think of now are the wires of Tom's computer and the haze of his vision without his glasses. I think of dust. I think of dust. I'm happy about the scratches on my glasses, and I'm happy about the dimming light from my window.